Well, I'm going to make a fun little picture frame, which will make a beautiful gift for anybody. Wonderful Mother's Day gift as well. And I'm going to make it using this deep frame box. And they're so easy to pick up. I will list them in the description below, so don't worry. What I'm going to show you is how to make some different little paper flowers. Now, I've already made some, which are these, and popped the leaves on them, and I've put a little sparkly gem in the middle. I've made 4 different ones in 4 different colours, but if you wanted to make them all in the same colour, then you could. It wouldn't be any problem. I start off with my 4 different colours, and I've cut some small circles, all going down into different sizes. Again, easy to cut out. I cut them all out by hand. They don't need to be perfect circles at all. I'm going to show you how to do one flower from the beginning to the end because it's so easy to adjust them. All you need to do is change the shape of your leaves. It's important that you fold these firstly directly in half like that, then find the center, roughly the center, fold one half over the front and the other half over the back. So you've got this like concertina effect here, which is really easy, and do them all like that. So now I've got all those 4 done. All I need to do is draw my pattern on them that I'm going to cut out. This one I'm going to keep to that sort of shape, and it was a really easy pattern to do. All I did was I had a little bit that was rounded in the middle like that there, and then did some rounded bits at the end. I do also find it speeds it up by doing them all to start with and then cutting them all out rather than moving from one bit to another and then getting your scissors out, putting your scissors down, getting your scissors out, putting your scissors down. There we go. And now what I'll do is I will cut these out. Again, really simple to do. Doesn't have to be perfect. So there we go. I've cut that one out now in that little shape. And then when you undo it like that, you'll get that lovely little shape. For these ones, all I did was a much deeper flower. So I came from about here across and then just joined that up in the middle like that, cut them out, and when it's undone you get that lovely little shape like that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to finish cutting these all out, and then I'll show you what you need to do to be able to put them together. Now I've got these all cut out, it's time to put them together. But what I'll do before I put them together is I will take the flower like this, and I will use a pencil or a bit of doweling like this, go around, stretch the paper, and that will give it a bit of a curl. The tighter you do it, the more curl you'll get. But remember, it is paper, so don't do it too much because you might rip it. Now, the one I'm going to show you how to put together is this blue one. And you can use any paper glue for it, but I'm going to be using this all-purpose glue. I find it works really well for this sort of stuff. Now, before I do it, what I'm going to do is, not on the first one, although I do sometimes, but on the other ones, I'm going to take a little bit out of them to give it more of a 3-dimensional shape. Just cutting out one of the petals like that. And then for this job, I do use the white glue. I find it easier to put the white glue onto a work surface like that and then dab it on either using a little brush or a cocktail stick. And it will dry fairly quickly on paper. Again, all I need to do is pop a bit of glue on there like that, fold these together until they're touching each other, and then hold them together for a couple of seconds and then leave that to dry again. And I'll do the same with all of them, even going down to this small one. And they won't take many seconds to dry. While they're drying, what I can do is make the bit for the inside. And all I've got here is a piece of paper of the same colour. You can use a contrasting colour if you'd like. And I will trim it down, making a little frill all the way down to about 2/3 of the way down. And then it looks like that, and all I need to do is nip that off. Again, I just take a little cocktail stick like this and wrap it round and then glue the 2 bits together so it makes a solid round. And this will come in really handy once we've put the flower together. There we are. So that's the center of the flower. I just need to pull these little bits back, probably trim them up a little bit because they're a bit long, and then I can glue that all in at the same time. So I'm going to get out a bit of my all-purpose glue. That's the way up it needs to go, and I'm going to put a bit of that in the middle. Take the next size up petals, twist it off so it's a bit of an angle, and then leave that there. And then do the same with each one. Put a bit of that glue in there. That's the next one. Bit of an angle. And this is why I do several of these at a time, because while one's drying, you can be working on the other one. And a bit of that in there. Pop that into it and push that down. And then we can leave that to dry, and then we can put the center in a second, and I can show you how I finish them off with a leaf and a stem, because there is a real easy way to attach this that looks very natural. So it looks like that when you've got it done. Well, that's all glued together now, and all I need to do is put the little stem in, and I also put a little jewel in the middle of them as well, because I think that just makes them pretty. It literally is a case of popping a bit on there, bit of glue in there, whichever glue you're using, and then I glue that in there. And then I just take a little gem and use whichever ones you've got. You don't have to have the gems if you don't want to. And then I place one of those in the center, but I also glue these on as well, because I never find those self-adhesive sticky bits are strong enough. So I'll pop a bit of glue in the middle there, put that in the middle, and there we go. There's your little flower top. And for the stem, all I do is roll a piece of paper up that I want to make the stem out of, and then cut a square end, and then I cut through there like that, squeeze it back together, and then cut through the other side. Open it up. Rather than having flat square ends, I take my scissors and make them more rounded. That way they look much more natural. I've already made one for this blue flower, and there it is. And I literally just put some glue on each one of those, a bit in the middle as well, and glue that on. Turn it over and glue it on. And I think that looks much more natural like that than if you were to have the flat ends. It's also a lot more secure. I have cut some leaves out, and the leaves are really easy to do. Fold over a piece of paper, draw a rough leaf shape that you want. So for this one, I'm doing that shape of leaf, and I will cut 2 out of this, and each one has got its own shaped leaf, and that's the leaf for that one. But before I finish off this box, what I want to do is put a little bit of a saying on here and add some details. I'm going to paint this background a blue colour and then rub some white into it using acrylic paints. Now these are all dry enough to put the leaves on. Before I put the leaves on, because I'm putting this in a shadow box, I don't want it to be up that way. I need the actual flower head to be that way so that it can be seen. And I bend the flowers first before I glue the leaves on, and that way the leaves are at the sides. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. I'm just going to use some white glue to glue those on with, and then I'm going to decorate them up a little bit and show you how I'm going to put it all together. Well, my flowers are all finished now, and I need to put them into something to present them inside the actual light box. What I've chosen is a little bit of this clear wrap here, and what I'm going to do is just push that down into there like that. Take the taller flowers first and put them in so they're all facing the same way. I might not use all of them, but I might. And then maybe some of these shorter ones. I need them all to be facing me, and I need them to be laying as flat as possible so that I can get them in that box. And what I'm going to do is take this silver twine and tie that clear wrap onto here, and then once that's tied on there like that, I'm going to cut those 2 bits quite short because I don't need them to be that long, because I'm also going to pop a little bow on there, and I'm going to spread these out now. They're tied in there so that they're not going to go anywhere, and they're going to be nice and flat and not all crumpled up as I've got them like this. So it makes a little posy. So there we go, there's our little posy. And all I'm going to use to glue this little bow onto the front is some hot glue. And we've got the frame here, that's nicely painted. And that just needs to go there. But on here, I'm going to add a little saying. And I've done that on my Cricut, and it says, take time to smell the... And then we're going to have the flowers underneath and something going here as well. All this is the sticky vinyl cut out really well. If you don't want to add this bit, then adding the bit with the normal letters is really easy. I'll show you how to do that once I've put this on. I've got the take time to smell the flowers on there, and now I'm going to glue on these little white letters, and they just come in a bag like this. You get loads of them for really, really cheap. And again, I will glue that on to there using either Yoo-Hoo, which is an all-purpose glue, or my glue gun. So once I've done that, I'll show you what it looks like finished. There we go. Take time to smell the flowers, and a lovely little bouquet of paper flowers in there. Hang that on the wall. It's got its own hanging hook on, and you've got a great little gift. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Don't forget to boot that like button and hit that subscribe button for loads more projects to come. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.